I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. And what have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. I wear my crown of thorns upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. Beneath the stains of time, the feelings disappear. You are somewhere else, I am still right here. And what have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself. I would find a way.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Terrific.
So well done. Really wonderful.
So,
By the way, while Dave's getting ready, everybody, we have a lot of people tonight, so people try to mute yourself. Try to remember. If not, I'll try to clean up. But it's easier if you do it yourself.
Nice song, Dave. I used to do that song. I'm gonna have to dig it out.
it's a great song, and and his approach to it was sort of revelatory. Even Trent Reznor says that's the definitive version. So,
Really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's a brilliant song, don't you think?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, another one of mine. Let's see. Okay. My baby left this morning. Clock said 8:02. left me then, she left me feeling blue. Now I'm in such a muddle, I don't know what to do. Poor me, poor me. So many lies and letdowns, chances that I blew. She tried so hard to love me, but now she's really through. I can't say that I blame her, wish I could leave me too. Poor me, poor me. So many lies and letdowns, chances that I blew. She tried so hard to love me, now she's really through. I can't say that I blame her, wish I could leave me too. Poor me, poor me. Tonight pour me a double and leave the bottle here. I think that I'll be drinking for a while. Tonight my only trouble is holding back a tear. Please don't even try to make me smile. So here's to all my heartbreaks, this wasn't quite my first. The way I feel tonight though, it just might be my worst. I should have better luck at cards, 'cause my luck in love is cursed. Poor me, poor me. Tonight pour me a double and leave the bottle here. I'm thinking I'll be drinking for a while. Tonight my only trouble is holding back a tear. Please don't even try to make me smile. My baby left this morning, clock said 8:02. When she left me then, she left me feeling mighty blue. I can't say that I blame her, wish I could leave me too. Poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me.
Yeah, we're off to an excellent start.
Awesome, Dave. Awesome.
Right, this is a great crowd tonight. Very diverse, I would say. Maybe because some of these people we haven't seen in a long time. It's great. It's terrific. Speaking of which, Stephen Moore, you're up.
All right. I'm glad to be back. I'm going to do a couple of songs that I wrote here, though it's hard to do it after Dave. He's got such great stuff going on there. But good job. All right. This is about happiness. Hap was once a friend of mine, and I'm sure he was yours too. But now it seems as though he's left us behind, or Hap, was it we who left you? Hap is the nicest friend to have. Never makes you cry, always makes you laugh. Hap, where have you been gone so long? Oh, so long. Oh, so long. Did I lose you when my eyes saw gold? Did I lose you when false love turned cold? Hap is the nicest friend to have. Never makes you cry, always makes you laugh. Apple, where have you been gone so long? Oh, so long. Oh, so long. One consolation I have in this life of mine, if e'er I meet him, true peace I'll find. Tap is the nicest friend to have, never makes you cry, always makes you laugh. Apple, where have you been gone so long? Oh, so long. Oh, so long.
Right.
Thank you. Balance okay?
Yeah, the
Okay, good.
guitar sounds great.
Thank
as
you.
well as the voice, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you know. Martin made the guitar, not the voice. All right. This is a song I wrote for a girl I thought I loved in college, and but I like the song. I've always liked the song. So here we go. When you came, your life seemed so full to me. There seemed to be no emptiness in your heart. But now I know that there are those nooks and crannies where I can sing my song and play my part. Yes, and when you put your hand in mine, there is a joy I find that speaks of our love so kind, as it grows one day at a time. Now I'm not saying that I have found a great chasm. I've just found a place for me and you, where we can share our joys and our memories as we become more one than two. Yes, and when you put your hand in mine, there is a joy I find that speaks of our love so kind, as it grows one day at a time. Now I have always been a tightrope walker whose faulty step would wreck most every show. But with you I have found my steps solidly in a place where our love can grow. Yes, and when you put your hand in mine, there is a joy I find that speaks of our love so kind, as it grows grows one day at a time. Yes, and when you put your hand in mine, there is a joy I find that speaks of our love so kind. As it grows one day, as it grows one day, as it grows one day at a time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, we move on to Snake.
Good evening, everybody. Back in 1957, there were a couple guys who were still in high school in New York that had a minor hit record called Hey Schoolgirl. They went under the name of Tom and Jerry. If you get a chance to listen to this record, it's if you don't remember it, it's one of those records that you say when you hear it today, I can't believe I used to like that. You know, tagline being, "Ooh, Papa Lucci Pa, are you mine?" I mean, give me a break. But it got them some gigs, and they traveled around a little bit and got interested in the music scene, but didn't have a follow-up, and things sort of fell apart. So the guy who went by the name of Jerry went to England to try to start a solo career. And Tom went to Columbia, started going to college. Fast forward to 1963. We have the folk revival taking place. And they decided that they might be able to get a piece of that. So Jerry came back from England, and the two of them got together with a fellow named Tom Wilson, who was a very influential disc jockey, trying his hand at record production. And they put together an album. Tom Wilson got it placed on Columbia. It was done not as Tom and Jerry, but under their real names. The album was called Wednesday Morning 3 a.m., and the names were Simon and Garfunkel. On the album was a song that they thought would be a hit called The Sound of Silence. That was put out as a single, and it bombed. So Paul Simon went back to England, and Art Garfunkel went back to Columbia. And unbeknownst to them, Tom Wilson took that track and overdubbed an electric guitar, bass, drums, added a bunch of reverb, and put out the single again, this time called The Sounds of Silence, plural. And it was a smash. And the rest is history. But off of that Wednesday Morning 3 a.m. album, there were some real gems written back when Paul Simon was still going under the name of Jerry Landis. This is one of them. Clouds roll in from the east riverbank like a shroud. They cover Bleecker Street in the alley where men sleep. Hides the shepherd is she. Voices leaking from a sad cafe. Smiling faces try to understand. Watch the shadow touch a shadow's hand on Bleecker Street. Poet sings his crooked lines. Holy, holy is his sacrament. 30 pieces pays the rent on Bleecker Street. Heard a church bell softly chime with a melody sustaining. It's a long way to Jordan from Bleecker Street. Fog rolls in from the west Jordan bank like a shroud over Jerusalem.
Wow.
Nice rendition, Snake.
Very nice. Snake, could I amend your history on one small point?
Sure.
There was a follow-up hit to Hey Schoolgirl.
Was there?
Yes, there was. It was an AM radio hit in the early 60s by The Circle.
Oh, Red Rubber Ball.
Red Rubber Ball.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
Well, it was Jerry.
Was he in that group?
Paul Simon wrote the song.
He wrote it. He didn't
He
sing
wrote it. I don't think he was in it.
No, he wrote it for The Circle.
Right, yeah.
Anyway,
But that's an incredible story about how the production was changed, so
Yeah, if you have
significantly.
a copy
and
of the
suddenly-
original album, the Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., it's very acoustic. And if you listen to the single, it's not. They're both available on YouTube. This is a song written in 1949 by Iain Macdonald. It's an interesting song in that it's a word poem. McCall was more interested in painting his picture. It's a word painting rather than a word poem. He was more interested in painting his picture than he was in maintaining a rhyme scheme. So there's no rhymes in the entire song, with the exception of the last line of each verse. which all rhyme with one another, basically because they're all the same. It's been recorded by a bunch of folks. The most well-known version was done in '83 by the Pogues. Although the song's meant to be a ballad, they turned it into a rollicking Irish drinking song. But then that's what the Pogues did. Everything they did was a rollicking Irish drinking song. But the song itself, if you listen to the lyric, it's about the Industrial Revolution and its effect on the small factory towns of the UK. It starts off very poignant, builds to anger, and then goes back to resignation. Met my love by the gas house door. Dreamed a dream by the old canal. Kissed my love by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Clouds are drifting across the moon. Cats are prowling on their beat. Springs a girl on the streets at night. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Heard a siren from the docks. Saw a train set the night on fire. Smelt the spring on the smoky road. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Gonna take me a brand new axe, shining steel, tempered in the fire. Cut you down like an old dead tree. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Met my love by the gas house door. Dreamed a dream by the old canal. Kissed my love by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town.
Nice, nice. Good job. All right, Dan.
Yeah. So Snake, there's another song. Is it called Moonlight in Vermont or Moonlight over Vermont? The only song that's written that doesn't have a rhyme through the entire song.
Like,
Huh? Somebody keeps muting you. That's okay. We'll talk about it another time. So I played this song the other night, but I want to play it again because I didn't feel that comfortable with it. My voice was a little raspy. It still is, but anyway. So the version I heard was Dion. He was actually touring off this album called Dream on Fire, and I saw him live. I actually got to meet him. Anybody who knows me has seen that picture of my buddy Dion and I. He was in Lowell, by the way. Some of you people live up that way. I forget, it was the Commodore or one of those places. Anyhow, I found out afterwards that it was written by Bruce Springsteen. It's called Should I Fall Behind? We said we walk together, come what may. And then come the twilight, should we lose our way? And as we were walking, our hand should slip free. I'll wait for you. Should I fall behind? Wait for me. We swore we'd travel, darling, side by side. We'd help each other stay in stride. But you love the steps fall so differently. I'll wait for you. If I should fall behind, wait for me. Now everyone dreams of a life lasting and true. But you and I know what this world can do. So let's make our steps clear that the other may see. I'll wait for you. If I fall behind, wait for me. There's a beautiful river in the valley ahead, and the oaks bough soon will be wed. Should we lose each other in the shadow of the evening trees? I'll wait for you. Should I fall behind, wait for me. Now everyone dreams of a love lasting and true. But you and I know what this world can do. So let's make our steps clear so the other may see. I'll wait for you. Should I fall behind, wait for me. I'll wait for you. Should I fall behind, wait for me. I'll wait for you. Should I fall behind, wait for me.
Right there.
Fall behind. Some lyrics. What did I do here? Oh, so, oh boy. I'm going to do a Beatles song because I got to get my Beatle chops in order here. Where is it? Come on, where were you? I know you're here somewhere. There it is. I don't even have to move my cable. John Lennon wrote the song. It's called Girl. Is there anybody going to listen to my story? All about the girl who came to stay. Not so much it makes you sorry. Still you don't regret a single day. Oh, girl, girl. Oh, girl, girl. And I think of all the times I tried so hard to leave her. She would turn to me and start to cry. And she promises the earth to me, and I believe her. After all this time, I don't know why. Oh, girl, girl. Oh, girl, girl. She's the kind of girl who puts you down when friends are there. You feel a fool. And when you say she's looking good, she acts as if it's understood she's cool. Memphis brings back to earn his day of leisure. Wish you still believing when he's dead. Oh, girl, girl. Oh, girl, girl. I cut that a little short because air conditioning. Air conditioning.
All right, yeah. Well, you get no sympathy over here. I can tell you that.
All right, guys.
We have another first here. We have back-to-back Rics, but, R-I-C and R-I-C-K, but that's okay. It's another first. Anyway, Ric Page, you are up.
Okay. Let me fix this here. On this day, 1935, a guy was born. His name was Elvis Presley. Although he didn't write this song, he was attributed with it because he had a big hit with it. 1 for the morning, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go. Now don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Knock me down, step in my face, slander my name all over the place. Can do anything you wanna do, but honey, lay off of my shoes. And don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Come on, let's go. Drink my liquor from an old fruit jar. Do anything that you want to do, honey, lay off of my shoes. And don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Rock on. There's 1 for the morning, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go. And don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Come on. I said, blue, blue, blue suede shoes, baby. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes.
Carl Perkins has got nothing on that, though.
Carl Perkins is the one that wrote it. That's right.
Carl Perkins, yep.
And
That was perfect.
Thank you. Oh, perfect. I've been hearing that word a lot today.
Another backstory to that. Johnny Cash is the one who gave him the title Blue Suede Shoes.
Cool. Boy, we're seeing a thread here. going. You know, rock and roll is a wonderful thing. Okay, this next song was also a hit for Elvis. And here we go. Wise men say only fools rush in, 'cause I can't help falling in love with you. Can I stay? Would it be a sin? 'Cause I can't help falling in love with you. Like the river flows slowly towards the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, 'cause I can't help falling in love with you. Like the river flows slowly towards the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, 'cause I can't help falling in love with you, 'cause I can't help falling in love with you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You don't know you sound like him, but you look like him.
Lovely.
You know that
Lyric.
black hair.
That's it. Thank you all.
Terrific.
Very nice.
Just a little change here. Rick's gonna go, then Ian. I'm gonna move Wendy up because it's late there, and I don't want her to wait forever. We have a lot of people tonight. I'm gonna try to accommodate everybody tonight, but I can't imagine there's gonna be a second round. So if anybody, needs to leave or want to leave, that's fine. I'm still wrestling with the best way to do this, but the initial reaction is more people, fewer songs. So that's what we'll do tonight. I just don't see a second round. But anyway, that's neither here nor there right now. Rick, you're up. Glad you're here. You got to unmute, Rick.
Unmute yourself, Rick.
Art, I'd rather have more people and fewer songs.
Well, that's what we're going to have tonight. I'm still working. I'm still trying to figure it all out. It's never been easy.
There we go.
Hey, Rick.
So, how are we doing? Did you hear the guitar? Okay.
Yep, can do.
Hear the voice?
Yep, can do.
Okay. Well, I've been doing mostly 2-song sets, zooming, and mostly the slow ballads, but I thought I'd do the Lobster song tonight. The story behind it is Whole Foods a few years ago came out in the Boston Globe, and there was an article that said they'd suspended the sale of live lobsters system-wide on account of it was unfair to the poor little lobsters. They couldn't figure out how to kill them humanely. And, well, I live right next to a big Whole Foods here. It's 100 yards away. And they just got a shipment of lobsters in, and I wondered what they were going to do with the ones they hadn't sold yet. Living in Cambridge, I sensed moral dilemma. But I got friendly with the cashier and asked my question, what'd you do with the leftover lobsters? And, well, she took me proudly in the back of the store, and I'm happy to report they did the right thing with those lobsters. There's 48 lobsters still living in the Whole Foods in Cambridge, and this is their story. Way down back of the good food store, they built us out an ocean floor. That's where we lucky lobsters love to loll. Just feed us scraps of hard salami, chèvre olives and edamame. Each day we're on another kind of roll. Pilgrims thought we were fertilizer. Later gourmets learned to prize our springy sweet white flesh, dry brushed with tangerine and salmon. To sell us from captivity is wrong, they say, but secretly we think our great good fortune might have more to do with mammon. And would they grill us? No, no, no. And they couldn't just kill us now. What would they tell the tofu swells and the friends of free-range buffalo? All got sold before our day at a dandy dinner in Old Back Bay, mid nutmeg, cream, and brandy. Gladly met his destiny. Now his shell's out west some 40 miles. The rest of him has cleared Deer Island. He's back in the harbor, singing near my cod to thee. And would they sell us? No, no, no. Or brazen jail us now. They'll have to treat us well, or we'll cast a spell and we'll all their radicchio. Meanwhile, my life's like no other. I played mahjong with my twin brother. We danced the quadrille, sing our song, the 3:15. Till morning, then we fall asleep on cobble in a happy heap. Some jellyfish our nightlight if we ever have to pee. Old friends arrive from stores everywhere in sacks of rockweed. Next day, well, down in Chapel Hill, young Liz picked up a gentle drawl. Though from Lincoln Park is always singing, twist and shout. And Lincoln's back from Camden Town. His flight's so long he almost drowning. Lee from Thousand Oaks is like, now what's this all about? And would they poach us too slow-wee? Now they're gonna coach us with yoga classes, meditation, 10-step meetings. Each crustacean will be all the lobster he or she can be. Well, lobster rhymes with dinner bell. For years at sea we've known this well. We thought our last swim would be in a big blue speckled pot. So every day, the chosen many we gather round, face our antennae with a lobster podcast live at noon. Give thanks for what we got. We're singing home, home our deranged, where the shrimp and the seahorses play. Have you just seen my wife, Davy Jones, and my favorite. Swimmerette, 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 ow. Swimmerette, 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 ow. In a watery cave somewhere I'll shed my shell and he'll come there. Hey, wouldn't he belongs to Lee, lobster Lee. Lucky lobsters live forever, drinking sparkling clementine. Lucky lobsters.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you much. Oh, yeah, well. So I've been doing this song a lot lately. Song of peace, love, and understanding. Going out to listeners. It starts in the Australian outback and comes around home from there. It's called Turning the World. Ripples widen in the pool that cradled every ancient soul. Catch sun sparks, eucalyptus leaves in the sky. The bark canoe slides forward as he leans back on his pole. Beneath his breath his father's song will rise. 2,000 years away, a gondolier leans on his oar. From turrets, steps, canals, and stones, his father's song resounds. All who pole and all who row and sing their soul song as they go. You can feel them turn the world around. From towers all around the town, long shadows as the sun goes down. The vesper bells all hear each other ring. The organs diapason, honey in the choir plays on to the Father as the congregation sings. The Spirit moves to minarets, muezzins make the call to prayer. The faithful bow in concert on the ground. All who sing and all who ring and all who join in listening, and all who play and all who pray will know they move as one day. Hear them as they turn the world around. You're both in bed now, feigning sleep. You're newlywed and new to fight. You floated through our yesterday in bliss. Sharp words both ways, cut both ways deep. You hope you make it through the night. Your father never sang a song for this, but listen for her breathing, match your drawings into hers. If she sleeps, then so may you. If not, her hand may yet find yours. Laid enemies in unison, anemones unfurled, wave together, nearer ever, hear each other, you can turn the
Beautiful, Rick, beautiful.
Hey, Mark.
Right. Iain, you got Iain, Wendy, John, and Doc Zig, the next few. So, Iain, you are up.
Okay, thanks, Art. So, first song I'd like to do is Tom Paxton's song, Rambling Boy. Somebody still not? I think somebody needs to mute. Yeah. Was a man, a friend always, stuck with me through hard old days. Never cared if I had no dough. We rambled round, rain and snow. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May you ramble, bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May your rambling bring you joy. Tulsa town, we chanced to stray. We thought we'd try to work one day. Boss, he said, be brute for one. Said my old pal, I'd rather bump. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May your rambling bring you joy. Late one night in a hobo camp, whether it was cold and damp, got the chills and he got them bad. Took the only friend I had. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May your rambling bring you joy. Left me here, rambling out, stay and gone. If I die and go somewhere, I bet you $1, ramble there. Here's to you, rambling boy. May your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. Thank you.
All right, Ian.
Nice, Ian. Very nice.
Thank you. Okay, second song I'd like to do. This is it's by Eric Bogle, who emigrated to Australia back in, I think it was 1969, from Scotland, and he's very much an Australian. He's taken citizenship there, but this particular song has got quite a lot of Scottish reference in it. It's relatively new, and he wrote this for one of the guys who played with him, John Munro, who sings in a lot of his songs. But anyway, I thought it was pretty poignant given the title of the song, and thought I'd give this a go tonight. So it's called A Fork in the Road. Well, my old friend, the years have ebbed and flowed. Now we are here at this fork in the road. We always shared the laughs, we always shared the low, right from the moment we first met. So you go on your way, and I'll go on mine, but let's raise our glasses one more time and ring a toast to old lang syne. Oh, take a cup of kindness. The road sometimes weary and sometimes long. It's always been filled with music and with song. But now it's time for two aging vagabonds, for living in what is, what was would be. So you go on your way, I'll go on mine, but let's raise our glasses one more time and ring a toast to old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness here. I don't know where, and I don't know when, but I know one day that we will meet again. For now and forever, we'll always be our friends. Of that you can be sure. So you go on your way, and I'll go on mine, but let's raise our glasses one more time and ring a toast to old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness, yeah. Yes, we'll take a cup of kindness, yeah. Thank you.
Nice. Right. Oh, we have a special treat. I always ask Wendy if she's going to sing. I think I got to force her, but she's going to do it. She's got a nice voice. I think she's the only one who thinks she doesn't, but she has a very nice voice. So she's going to do a tune for us. Can't wait.
Yeah, thanks,
It's the
Art.
truth.
Thank you. Well, the problem that I have as well is that I don't play an instrument, but I have got my good friend who I pick on mercilessly, John Twist, and he's done me a backing track for a song that I do sing, usually at our house with John Twist playing guitar for me. So I've no idea. I've not tested this out. So here we go. Can you all hear me all right? Yeah, great. Okay, here we go. I'm really sorry. Sorry, I'm going to start that again because I kind of got a bit of a shock when I turned my effects off. So I've lost singing to a backing track where I am. So I'm going to start it again. Bear with me. Thank you. Came upon a child of God. He was walking along the road. When I asked him, where are you going? This he told me. said, I'm going down to Yesker's farm. Think I'll join a rock and roll band and camp out on the land and try and set my soul free. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Then can I walk beside you? I have come here to lose the smog, and I feel just like a cog in something turning. Well, maybe it's the time of day, or maybe it's the time of man, and I don't know who I am, but life's for learning. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. By the time I got to Woodstock, there were 500,000 strong, and everywhere there were songs and celebrations. Well, I dreamed I saw the bombers riding shotgun in the sky, turning into butterflies above our nation. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Thank you, John
Excellent.
Twist.
Wow.
Wonderful. It really-
Nice, Wendy.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Really was. Really was.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go on, I just said something to Russell. Russell, are you in Israel now? Can you hear me? Where's Russell? Well, maybe he'll answer me.
Russell's muted.
Okay. You know what? Russell, you know, John's going to go next, and then you. I forgot you're in Israel, so John's going to go next, and then I'm going to put you on, okay? Because it's getting really late there. Not everybody's crazy like Janet.
I'm happy for Russell to go before me, Art, if you want.
I know, but he may not. Russell, if you're ready to go now, you can. But if you want to wait one, just let me know. Unmute. Let us know. Okay, but do you not want to perform tonight?
I'll wait another song or two and see how.
Okay. All right. Let me know. Let me know.
Do it. Is that okay?
Okay, John. I just forgot that he was in Israel for. It's 7 hours later there. Okay. Whenever you're ready, John.
Wendy doesn't have another song?
She only wanted to do one, she said.
Oh, okay.
I tried.
All right. Well, Phil Oakes would have been 80 last month. So I've been listening to a lot of Phil Oakes songs. And in fact, I'll be up on the Eagle's Nest next Friday, back in the rotation. And I'm planning to do a whole Phil Oakes set. But this one I think we need tonight. When he was writing this song, his sister Sunny says that he came up to her and said, I think I'm writing the greatest song I'll ever write. And a lot of people seem to think that's true. I think he was speaking a little prematurely. It was kind of an early song, but it's a great one. It's called Power and the Glory. Come take a walk with me through this green growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. From Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania to Nevada and Arizona, from the old to the new. I changed the states around. You're allowed to do that with Phil songs. Let me try that again. They don't fit the... From Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania to Nevada, Arizona, from the old to the new, Delaware and Georgia and the California shore. Tell me who could ask for more? For here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. Yet she's only as rich as the poorest of her poor, only as free as the padlocked prison door, only as strong as our love for this land, only as tall as we stand. For here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. But our land is still troubled by men who have to hate. They twist away our freedom and they twist away our fate. Fear is their weapon and treason is their cry. We can stop them if we try. For here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. Come take a walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all, on us all.
Yeah. Well done.
Excellent. Hey, John, your guitar is hard to is cutting out. We're missing some of the guitar. The voice is great.
Is it?
The original sound is on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't explain that right now. Let's see if it's better with this. Yeah, I changed those state names around and they don't scan the same way, which I didn't discover until I was in the middle of it. This is a Bert Jansch song called Back Home. I got a wish, I got a yearning to be home. I got a longing to be walking down the street, to see the chimney tops smoking on the skyline, feel the cobblestones hard beneath my feet. Oh, to hear the women sweetly talking, ah, sweet music singing gently in my ear. Ought to be back home. If you could see the town where I was born, stand on the high street, you can look out to the sea, or take a drink from a friendly corner ale house. More pleasant place you could never wish to be. Oh, to hear the women sweetly talking, ah, sweet music singing gently in your ear. Ought to be back home. When you see the rolling hills across the border, and the heather smells so sweetly in the air. You know that you can't be, you just can't be anywhere. You feel that magic shiver in your bones, ought to be back home. When you see the rolling hills across the border, and the heather smells so sweetly in the air, you know that you can't be, you just can't be anywhere. And you feel that magic shiver in your bones, ah, you know you're home. I hope and pray nothing's changed since I was there. Fond memories still linger in my mind. I know that town like a preacher knows his Bible. I got to thinking I'm gonna leave this road behind. Oh, to hear the women sweetly talking, ah, sweet music singing gently in my ear, ought to be back home. When you see the rolling hills across the border, and the heather smells so sweetly in the air, you know that you can't be, you just can't be anywhere. And you feel that magic shiver in your bones, you know you're home. Ah, you know you're home. You know you're home. Ah, you know you're home.
Nice. Very nice, John.
Nice, John.
Hey, before we move on to Doc, just a reminder: Monday is Beatles night, and well, that should be a good night. This Monday, you know, everything's the same. It's just going to be Beatles night. And then next Wednesday is the joint event with our friends in Jerusalem. That's going to start at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. 1 o'clock, you know, our time, 8 o'clock in Israel. Anybody's any questions? You know where to find me. Happy to answer them. So, anyway, Zig, you're up.
For Wednesday, do we
All right.
just Wednesday do we just use the same link?
Yeah, it's the same as this.
Okay.
Anyhow, I'm going to do something off of my album. This is called, it used to be called Tiny Sparrow, but it's actually known as Come All Ye Fair and Tender Maidens. This is for you, Ian. This is a Celtic tune. Come all ye fair and tender maidens, take warning how you court your man. We're like the stars in the summer's morning. First we'll appear, then we're gone. We'll tell to you some loving story. We'll tell to you some terrible lie and go away. For another, leave you alone, pine and sigh. I With two wings I fly so high, I'll go away to my false lover. And if she'll ask, I will deny. But I am not some little sparrow. I have no wings, and I sure don't fly. I'll go away some lonesome valley. There I'll pass these troubles by. Before I committed some terrible crime, I'd have locked this heart in a box of golden, tied it off with silver twine. Come all ye fair and tender maidens, take warning how you court your man. We're like the stars the summer's morning. First we'll appear, then we're gone. Slow fade. Fair and tender. Does the harmonic come across?
Yep. Yeah,
Oh,
they had a little break up there, but it basically was fine.
Oh, thank you. All right, I'll do another one. This is this is actually like a talking blues. But I did it as a song. It's by Steve James. It's called Talco Girl. This is on the CD too. Sorry. Weather changes, these instruments go crazy. Sorry. All right, Talco Girl. In a Dallas motel room, she's calling for Sonny and Merle. Please tell them that I'll be home soon. She's nothing but a Talco girl, nothing but a Talco girl. In the Dallas motel room, when she's calling for Sonny and Merle. Please tell them that I'll be home soon. It's been 10 years or more. The corn laundry got a video game. The fire took the grocery store. Fire took the grocery store. Corn laundry got a video game. Well, it's been 10 years or more. And downtown don't look the same. Swing, and Uncle Jerry and Hot Rod Caddy, hearing Roger Miller sing, telling everybody that's my daddy. Everybody, that's my daddy. And Uncle Jerry and Hot Rod Caddy sitting on the front porch swing, hearing Roger Miller sing. Last verse. It's a lonesome graveyard. No, she's nothing but a alco girl. She says goodbye, Daddy. She says hello, world. She says goodbye, Daddy. Hello, world. I just tell them wherever I go. Nothing but a talco girl. Just tell them wherever I go. Well, I'm nothing but a talco girl. Didn't get to the end of that one.
All right, Zig. Nice
Funny
job.
what one string off can do to you. Always take time and tune.
All right, Eddie. Eddie D. There you go.
Hello. Okay. How's that sounding? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, okay. All right, so people were talking about moonlight earlier, and of course that set me, my mind to thinking. So here we go. Let's see. Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance, with stars up above in your eyes. Fantabulous night to make romance, neath the cover of October skies. And all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please to your calling, with the heartstrings that play soft and low. And all the night's magic seems to whisper and hush, and all the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Well, can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just have one more romance with you, my love? Well, I want to be with you tonight. I can't wait till the morning has come. And I know now the time will be just right, and straight into my arms you will run. And when you're there, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then my love you will own. And every time I touch you, you just tremble inside. And I know how much you love me that you can't hide. Well, can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Yes, can I just have some more romance with you, my love. Well, can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love?
Nice job, Eddie.
Thank you very much.
Okay, name the place for the dance.
Yeah, well,
was
the
some
internet,
great
it could be any
playing.
place, right? Could be any place. All right, so now I'll take it back in time. Still same theme with the moon, but Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, and Dorothy Lamour. Moonlight becomes you, it goes with your hair. You certainly know the right things to wear. Moonlight becomes you, I'm thrilled at the sight, and I could be so romantic tonight. Well, you're all dressed up to go dreaming, now don't tell me I'm wrong. And what a night to go dreaming, do you mind if I tag along? If I say I love you, I want you to know it's not just because there's moonlight, although moonlight becomes you so. Do ba da ba da ba 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 da ba 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 dee dee da 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 ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 ba. Now you're all dressed up to go dreaming, don't tell me I'm wrong. And what a night to go dreaming, do you mind if I tag along? If I should say that I love you, well, I want you to know it's not just because there's moonlight, although moonlight becomes you so.
All right. Eddie, that's great.
All right. Thank you very much.
You gotta get here more often, Eddie. You gotta get here more often.
I know.
We're here all the time.
You know,
it was great.
yep. I'll get them as often as I can.
I know. Russell, I don't know if you were gonna play or you're still not feeling well, but let us know, because if you want to go, you're up now. If not, we'll keep going. Is Russell still here? Yeah, he's still here. Well, I'm going to keep going, and we'll come back to it if we need to. Jay, Mr. Pickles, you're up.
Mr. Pickles. I like the Mister.
We like the pickle.
I'm going to do a Rolling Stone song. It is the evening of the day. I sit and watch the children play. Smiling faces I can see, but it's not for me. I sit and watch as tears go by. My riches can't buy anything. I want to hear the children sing, but all I hear is the sound of rain falling on the ground. I sit and watch as tears go by. Doing things I used to do, thinking of you. I sit and watch as tears go by. It is the evening of the day. I sit and watch the children play. Smiling faces I can see, but it's not for me. I sit and watch as tears go by.
Nice, Jay.
Thanks.
Really nice, Jay.
Thank you. I gotta think of what I'm gonna bloody do next. Think I'll do this Donovan song. A day once dawned as sleepers yawn, a day of leaves so greeny-o, that a man rode high in a tinker's sky and begged me to go a-running, on the trail of the enchanted gypsy-o. Seaweed clings to ruby rings on the fingers of my lady-o, and the people in the town, they would not look round, and they're forever a-telling, the tale of the enchanted gypsy-o. I passed a glade and took me a shade beneath an oak so twisty-o, and a vision I saw as a crow did caw. No more need I go a-running, to follow the path of the gypsy-o. Seaweed clings to ruby rings on the fingers of my lady-o, and the people in the town, they would not look round, and they're forever a-telling, the tale of the enchanted gypsy-o. His caravan was a-painted by hand and touched every pebble in the ocean, and the pictures there, they moved in thin air, and they're forever a-telling, the tale of the enchanted gypsy-o. seaweed clings to ruby rings on the fingers of my lady, oh. And the people in the town, they would not look round, and they're forever a-searching, oh, to follow the path of the gypsy, oh. La 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 la.
All right. Great.
Sounded good, Snake.
Thank you.
Good one, Jay. Good choice.
Okay, wait. I just got a note from Russell. I want to try to get him in. If he's up for a song, why don't you jump in, Russell, and do one? You gotta unmute. Russell? All right, we'll come back to Russell. Mark?
Oh, he's here.
Oh, he's there? Okay.
Hey, how you doing? Okay, I just heard this old song yesterday, and it just gave me some good, real good vibes. This is a Stevie Wonder song. Actually, I just checked it. There's Glenn Campbell cover to this song as well. So this is the first time I'm doing a Stevie Wonder song, and it's called A Place in the Sun. Like a long, lonely stream, I keep running towards a dream, moving on, moving on. Like a branch on a tree, I keep reaching to be free, moving on, moving on. There's a place in the sun where there's hope for everyone, where my true restless heart gonna run. There's a place in the sun where there's hope my life begun. Gonna find me a place in the sun. Like an old dusty road, I get weary round below, moving on, moving on. Like this tired, troubled earth, I've been lonely since my birth, moving on, moving on. 'Cause there's a place in the sun where there's hope for everyone, where my poor restless heart gotta run. 'Cause there's a place in the sun where my hope is not undone. I gotta find me a place in the sun.
'Cause there's a place in the sun where there's hope for everyone, where my true restless heart gotta run. 'Cause there's a place in the sun, and before my life is done, I gotta find me a place in the sun.
All right, Russell. You never disappoint. You got another one in there? You're not up to it. I'd love to get another one out of you.
I can do another one.
All right.
I can do another one.
Excellent.
Let's see. This is a Bruce Springsteen song taken from his previous album. And this is the opening track, and it's called Hitchhiking. Never played this as well, but I need a G for this. Hang on. Okay. So I'm stuck out as I go. I'm just traveling up the road. Matt, don't do too much for me, friend. I'll follow the weather and the wind. I'm hitchhiking all day long. Got what I could carry in my song. I'm a rolling stone that's rolling on. Catch me now, 'cause tomorrow I'll be gone. Family man gives me a ride. Got his pregnant Sally by his side. Yes, and still tell children are a gift. Thank you kindly for the lift. I'm hitchhiking all day long. Trucker gears his engine down. Says climb up some, I'm highway bound. Dashboard picture of a pretty girl. I'm riding high on top of the world. I'm hitchhiking all day long. Get a house up on 72. Wonder what drastic things he could do. Telephone boards and tree go whistling by. Thank you, they surely can fly. I'm hitchhiking all day long. I'm hitchhiking all day long.
Nice, Russell.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Very nice. Well, it's 3 o'clock
Nice
in the
to
morning.
nice harp there, Russell.
You're welcome to stay or whatever you got to do. But I know it's late. Thanks for coming. Thanks for staying. Appreciate it. Coming down the home stretch. Mark, you're up. Then Dolores and Marty will close us out.
All right. Well, there was I had a lot of emotions going on Wednesday as I watched the chaos in D.C. And many things stood out to me, but probably not the least of which was the difference on how the authorities treat the races. One race is treated one way, another race is treated another. This is a song I wrote for Black Lives Matter. It's a dark cloud, brings the rain, a bitter wind, brings the pain, makes our children moan and grieve, and kneel and cry. We cannot breathe and it's a cruel storm, brings the death, a bitter wind, steals the breath, gone the children's joy and laughter, gone the lives that should have mattered. Cold upon the ground lies a body of a mother's son. Police all lie and say that he pointed at them with a gun. Now the young man had to die alone when his only crime was walking home. And no matter what they say, you know he's not the only one. There's a dark cloud, brings the rain, a bitter wind, steals the pain, makes our children moan and grieve, and kneel and cry. We cannot breathe and it's a cruel storm, brings the death, a bitter wind, steals the breath, gone the children's joy and laughter, gone the lives that should have mattered. Standing in the flames of a nation torn by hate and blame, where those who should protect are the authors of the greatest pain. You can take a bullet in your back when your only crime is driving black, and half of us refuse to call it by its proper name. Oh, whoa, there's a dark cloud that brings the rain, a bitter wind steals the pain, makes our children moan and grieve and kneel and cry. We cannot breathe, it's a cruel storm, brings the death, a bitter wind steals the breath. Gone the children's joy and laughter, gone the lives that should have mattered. Now all the pain and rage has been locked up in a cage, left beneath the boiling sun. If you open up your eyes, then you won't be surprised at the revolution when it comes. There's a dark cloud, brings the rain, bitter wind steals the pain, makes our children moan and grieve and kneel and cry. We cannot breathe, it's a cruel storm, brings the death, the bitter wind steals the breath. Gone the children's joy and laughter, gone the lives that should have mattered. I said gone the lives that should have mattered. Well, it's a dark cloud, a bitter wind, a cruel storm, a bitter
song, Mark. Great song.
Unbelievable.
Here's another social song. I know Carla likes this one. I do too. Written by a friend of mine, well, not a friend of mine, a guy I've met called Steve Suskin. He has written 5 or 6 number 1 hits over the years. I met him back in the 70s. I love this song of his. It's called Don't Laugh at Me. I'm that little boy with glasses, the one they call the geek, a little girl who never smiled, 'cause I got braces on my teeth, and I know how it feels to cry myself to sleep. I'm that kid on every playground, the one that's chosen last, a single teenage mother trying to overcome her past. You don't have to be my friend, but is it too much to ask? Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings, so don't laugh at me. I'm that cripple on the corner. You passed me on the street, and I wouldn't be here begging if I had enough to eat. And don't think I don't notice that our eyes never meet. I lost my wife and little boy when someone crossed that yellow light. The day they laid them in the ground, well, that's the day I lost my mind. And now I'm down to holding this little cardboard sign. So don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. So don't laugh at me. Well, I'm fat, I'm thin, I'm short, I'm tall, I'm deaf, I'm blind. Hey, aren't we all? So don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. So don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me.
Love that tune.
Wow.
Thank you. Okay, Dolores and Marty, you're closing us
Okay.
out.
I'm gonna do an old Webb Pierce song, Memory Number 1. I've had lots of golden memories of a million things I've said and done. But when I separate them, darling, you're my memory number 1. I've caught lots of other sweethearts, and I'll admit I've had some fun. But when I stop and think of true love, you're my memory number 1. Even fools sometimes get lonesome, and I guess that's what this fool has gone and done. But tonight I'm thinking of old memories, and you're my memory number 1. But tonight I'm thinking of old memories, and you're my memory number 1. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Marty, let's see. Cable.
place go? On my finger you brought love like I've never known. You gave life to our children, and to me a reason to go on. You're my bread when I'm hungry. You're my shelter from trouble winds. You're my anchor in life's ocean, but most of all, you're my best friend. When I need hope and inspiration, you're always strong when I'm tired and weak. I could search this whole world over, you'd still be everything that I need. You're my bread when I'm hungry. You're my shelter from trouble winds. You're my anchor in life's ocean, but most of all, you're my best friend. You're my bread when I'm hungry. You're my shelter from trouble winds. You're my anchor in life's ocean, but most of all, you're my best friend. All right, we'll try it. The news is out all over town that you've been seen out running around. I know that I should leave, but then I just can't go. You're my win again. This heart of mine could never see what everybody knew but me. Just trust in you
Was my great sin.
was my great sin. What can I do? You win again. I'm sorry for your victim now, 'cause soon his head like mine will bow.
Give his heart. He'll give his heart. But all in
vain. And someday say you win again. Yeah.